name's Karina Flow. Welcome to tutorial number 3. In this tutorial, we're going to be doing an open fan trick, which we can go into through here as we went over in tutorial number 2. So coming into this position, which we learned in the previous tutorial, opening the fans, we're going to turn, bring the fans down, and as we get to here, we're going to come into this position, which is referred to as the X. Our thumbs are facing forward, and we want to make sure that that top stave, this stave, is in line with our forearm, and it's going to stay like that throughout the whole trick. So everything needs to be very flat and it's on a wall plane. So a wall plane is as if we've got a wall in front of us here and everything is going to trace along that plane. So we're going to lead with the stave, the silk is going to be behind, and we're going to come up, making sure that we're flat, making sure that that stave is in line with the forearm, bringing it all the way up. Here, making sure that they're still flat. You should start to feel the shoulders feel a little bit unnatural here, but we want to try and turn them outwards, and where you can't continue anymore, this is where you're going to flip them inwards, and we're going to create an X at the top here. So we're going to lead with the staves, making sure that the stave is close to the forearm. Once again, we're going to bring them down, making sure that they're both facing up here. And again, this should feel slightly awkward because the shoulders are turning out. And right in the last moment, we're going to flick them inwards into an X shape, again down the bottom, and we repeat the trick. So coming up, leading with the stave, X at the top, coming back down, X at the bottom. Making sure that these fans are always facing the front in our wall plane. So you want to make sure that they're not facing like this or like that. You want them flat the whole time as much as possible. Another thing we can add here is we're going to lead with the stave, come up, and we're going to flick that top one inwards. And now we're going to alternate and bring them down at the same time. Whilst one's going down, the other's going up. And the right one here, the curve should be facing upwards, and the curve on the left one should be facing downwards. We're going to continue leading with the stave, making sure that the stave is in line with the forearm. When we get to this position, we're going to flick them in at the same time. And you can practice this trick one hand at a time. So we can eliminate that one and just practice with the right, flick in, come up, flick in, until that feels comfortable, and then we can try the left one as well. So we're always leading with the stave. We lead with the stave so that the silk is always behind so it can flow, and then we flick the silk over to the other side and again lead with the stave every time we want to switch the direction that we're going in. And we can bring both in when we feel comfortable at the same time, or we bring one up and then alternate. The last part of the tutorial is what I refer to as a tornado. So we can get into it by bringing this one up as we did before. We're going to flick it over and we're going to make sure that the silk is now behind us. A little bit tricky with the wind here, but I hope you're following me. So the silk is behind our head, so from a side angle, my arm is just going to go a little bit further back, and I'm actually going to tilt that fan a little bit on an angle. You don't have to, but I personally find the aesthetic looks better this way. So I'm tilting it back on an angle. My left fan is coming up, and I'm going to have that on an angle in line with my top one. And from here, if the right one is on top, I'm going to lead with the stave of the left, and I'm going to turn left or anti-clockwise. And so I'm going to bend my arm in and turn in this way. And then from here, you can flutter both the fans. You can flutter just the top fan, or you can flutter just the bottom fan. And if you want to switch direction, we're going to come back into this starting position and we're going to alternate. Again, the left fan is going to flick the silk behind us this time. So make sure that your hand is leaning a little bit back, tilt that fan backwards, and then my right fan is going to come up, bend the elbow in so it's all nice and tight to the body, and they're both on an angle that matches. And then we're going to now go right, so we're going to go clockwise. Fluttering just the bottom one or just the top one, or together or none. And then we can switch and go the other way. Or we can switch, just turn in the body from side to side as well. Now, if we want to bring all those free tutorials into one sequence, it will look something like this. So front swimmers, so back swimmers, alternating, barrel turn, straight under the leg. Thank you for watching these tutorials. I hope you enjoyed them. I hope you learned a lot, and I hope to see you again soon.